Hello, hello, hello. This is Pastor Lasandra, aka your girl Lala. Come on in the room. Come on and sit a spell on this Thursday evening. Come join Lala just to sit and talk a minute. We're going to talk about fortifying our minds on tonight, what that means to fortify our minds and how to fortify our minds. Yes, we're still in Mental Health Month. It is the last Thursday in the month of May, which is known also as Mental Health Awareness Month. So just wanted to come on to do some mental health check in our minds to make sure that our minds are fortified, that we're grounded, that we're rooted, that we are locked, and that we know how to come out of a tight spot if we find ourselves in a tight spot, and being mindful and practice mindfulness. So to fortify your mind simply means to strengthen, to enhance your moral and mental strength, your mental capacity, to fortify it, to strengthen it, to arm it, to make sure that it's locked and loaded, to fortify it, to make sure that it is secure. So we want to make sure that we are secure in our minds, that we're fortified in our minds. And one thing I want us to practice is mindfulness. Mindfulness, being mindful of what is going on around us in the moment, being mindful of our feelings, being mindful of our emotions, what we may be feeling and want to express at the time, being mindful of that and knowing how we feel, why we feel the way we feel. From time to time throughout the day, I get this mental check, health check. And in that mental health check, it asks, how are you feeling at the moment? It also has, how have you felt throughout the day, your entire day? So whenever I click on that to answer how I'm feeling in the moment, it gives you a list of options, gives you a list of options to choose from how you're feeling. You're feeling sad, you're feeling happy, you're disappointed. And then it goes on to say why. Is it because of family? Is it because of your spirituality? Is it because of your work, your space? It gives you different options to choose as well. And you can click on that as many times as you want. I like that because usually it's something going on at the moment. Not all the time. Not all the time. It's not all the time something going on. And sometimes, you have the scale. It also gives you a scale to say you're neutral in your feelings, or you're unpleasant in your feelings, or you're very pleasant in your feelings. It's the scale that goes from the unpleasant to the left that you can slide to your very pleasant on the right. And you can get somewhere in between there and just neutral if you're neutral. If it's like, hey, nothing happened significant, this is just a typical day for me. But if something's going on and you may be feeling a little stress, a little anxiety, a little tension, a little frustration, you have the options to choose that. This is how I'm feeling in the moment. This is where we practice mindfulness. This is how I'm feeling at this current state in my life, at this current moment of being where I am, doing whatever I'm doing. This is the state of mind that I'm in. If I'm in work and it pops up on my phone, if I'm just got off a stressful call and it pops up, I may say something to the effect about I'm slightly unpleasant at this moment. Slightly unpleasant. Why am I slightly unpleasant? Is it due to family? Is it due to work? Is it due to health? Is it due to different things, the option that it gives you? And I wish it would pop up right now so I could tell you. And I'll choose work. And then I'll say how I'm feeling. And it's because of work that I'm feeling this particular way. So this is how we practice mindfulness, not being so shut off from how we're feeling. Own our feelings, acknowledge our feelings, that this is what's going on with me at this present time in my life. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, because I stomped my toe, it hurts, and I'm in pain. That's the emotion that I'm going through right now. I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling discomfort. This is why I stomped my toe. I received some disappointing news. This is why. It brings us into reality, to do a reality check of our state of mind at the moment. And I like also, because it's going to pop up on my watch again before I go to bed tonight, it's going to say, how was your day? You're going to respond basically the same way. Overall, my day was pleasant. Overall, my day was very pleasant, or overall, slightly unpleasant, or greatly unpleasant. So you get to choose the options, and then it asks you why. Get it? It asks you why. So I'm practicing mindfulness. It's making me practice mindfulness. It's making me stop and think as to why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. So, what I want us to do is to be able to make sure that we're grounded, that we're secure in our mind, in our thinking, in our psyche, in our emotions, in our feelings, to take a moment to just sit back and think why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Hopefully, most of your responses will be pleasant. It may not be pleasant. So if it's not, why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? What made you happy today? Did a phone call make you happy? Did someone give you a gift today? Did someone give you a hug today? Did you win a award today? Did you win the lottery today? Did someone just write you a $10,000 check? You're happy. Did you just purchase a new home or new vehicle? Did you just birth a child? What is it that has made you happy? What put a smile on your face? And you have the options to check that off your list. I'm happy because my family loves me. My family supports me. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling at the moment. And acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging our emotions. And I tell people, God gave us emotions. So use your emotions. Don't try to hide them under a rug, put them under a bushel to be obsolete, to ignore your emotions. They are your emotions, and you are entitled to your emotions. Get it? So, one thing we want to practice again is mindfulness. And one way to practice mindfulness is we want to maybe take some breathing exercises, put breathing methods in place. And we sit however you choose to sit, whether you want to sit in a chair, whether you want to sit on a floor, and you inhale deeply and you exhale deeply. You take your time and take that moment, even if it's closing your eyes and just inhaling and holding it for a couple seconds and exhaling it for a couple seconds. Inhaling and exhaling, and watch how your mood and your emotions begin to change as you release the airflow, as you divert that air, and you cause yourself actually a moment of consciousness of concentrating on your breathing. So we practice breathing exercises. Another exercise that you can do or we can do is to meditate. Meditation, sit in solitude, sit in quietness, and simply meditate about what is going on in your world, what is going on with you in the moment, well, what is going on in your current situation, in your surroundings. What is going on? What is taking place at this initial time, this space in time, this very moment? Yes, I may feel overwhelmed, but I'm going to sit in the moment and I'm going to think about what has made me to feel overwhelmed. I'm going to take those deep breaths and I'm going to exhale those deep breaths, and I'm going to meditate on the things that are positive, the things that are lovely, the things that are true, the things that are just, the things that are pure, the things that's going to make me smile, the things that's going to make me feel joyful. I'm going to think about pleasant memories, those things that's going to bring me into my happy space. Those things that's going to bring me back where I'm rooted and I'm grounded and I'm centered and I'm able to move forward. I'm able to function in the capacity that I need to function in without being all bent out of shape, without being all wired, being discomforted. Dealing with anxiety is not a good place to be. You're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to mess up. You're bound to miss something when you're anxious and you're moving all about, when you're frazzled, when you're out of sync. I was talking to someone earlier today. I said, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm all over the place. I don't know what is going with me, but I feel like what's going on with me, and I feel like I am out of sync, that I'm not synchronized. I'm not feeling myself at this moment. So what do you do in that case? If you have the space and the time and the ability to steal away and find you a still, quiet, small place to take a moment to regather yourself, to pray, to meditate. You know, prayer is not always verbal, that you have to verbally release it. You can pray inwardly. So if you have to remove yourself from a situation and go sit in your car and just meditate, and if you're in a place where you can pray out loud to hear the words, because faith cometh by hearing and hearing by the words of God, pray the word. Release the word in the atmosphere. But if you're unable to do that, consciously make an effort to think the word in your head, in your mind, in your thoughts, to think those things that are pure and honest and just and lovely, those things that's going to bring you back to the place of functionality, the place where you can move, you can progress, you can make movement, progress, progression, and you're settled, you're grounded, you're stable, and you're not all frazzled and all over the place, because you're not going to be any benefit to anyone else if you can't even benefit yourself. So it's important for us to acknowledge our feelings and our emotions, and to make sure that our mind is fortified as much as possible all of the time. So breathing exercises, meditation, thinking on those things. Another thing you can do is get with that friend, get with that person that's going to make you crack up laughing. They just have this canny way of just bringing you out of where you are. Everybody needs to have one of those. Everybody needs to have that friend that they can call on, that's going to bring them up out of the pit, that's going to bring them up out of a place of sadness, or whatever they're feeling, because they're going to open their mouth and say something stupid, or they're going to just send you to a place that takes you to a place of laughter and a pleasantness. They have a way of bringing you back to who you genuinely are. Because when we have these feelings and these emotions, that's not really who we are, in a sense of being angry. We don't walk around just being angry people. Now, yeah, you do have some people that are just known for being angry all the time. I'm so glad I'm not that person. And they have to be miserable, miserable. They're Scrooges. That's another word from Scrooges all the time. But I would like to think that most of us are pleasant minded, leveled people. So whenever something goes awry in our lives, sometimes we get thrown off kilter. We get thrown off center. We aren't grounded. We aren't balanced. And we need to have that person, that individual, that group that we can call on, that will be able to bring us back to where we are balanced and where we are centered. So I hope you have a person in your life that you can call and be like, girl, just talk to me. I'm feeling some kind of way right now. I need you to make me laugh and bring me out of that place. And if they're close enough to you, they know what to do. I have an aunt, she says, in spite of everything that I feel or how I'm feeling at the moment, when you call me, you always make me laugh. It's always pleasant talking with you because you're so silly. She said, you just have a way of making Auntie laugh, and I just love every time that you call me. That makes me smile. I don't want somebody running away from the phone when they see my name or my number pop up and be like, I don't want to talk to them because I never have anything positive to say. So you want that person in your life that you can call, that's going to answer your call if it's at all possible, that's going to answer your text or your smoke signal, your cry for help whenever you call them. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are joining me. Please leave me a comment. Please tag, please like, please share. Let someone know I'm on. Thank you, for viewer, for watching and joining me this evening. We're just chatting. We're talking about fortifying our mind, making sure our mind is secure so we can actually think clear. When our mind is cloudy, we don't or have a clear perception. We cannot see clear. And when we don't have a clear perception, a clear understanding, our pathway is all clogged up. We're unable to see. We're out of balance. We are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to miss it. We are bound to make some dumb decisions if we act in that time of our emotions being off kilter. So we don't want to act in a negative way. We want to be positive as much as possible in any and everything we do. We also want to make sure when we're fortifying our mind that we have gained a proper perspective on the issue of what is going on, that we have a clear understanding of what is going on with us in the moment at that current and present time. You need to have a clear understanding. You need to have some clarification. You need to have somebody to explain to you what is going on, to make sure that you have not misinterpreted, to make sure that you have not misunderstood, that you have not miscalculated, that you're grounded, you're where you need to be, you're in your mind to understand that did I hear you clearly? Because sometimes when we don't hear things clearly or we're all frazzled, sometimes we have a tendency not to get the full perspective, the right perspective. We don't take time to get the right perspective. So that is another thing we need to do, is to make sure that we have gained a perspective that will help us better with our understanding, that will help us feel better in our situations, in our positions, and our point of view of how we see that thing. So I just wanted to share a little bit with us on tonight about fortifying our minds, making sure that our minds are or properly taken care of and functioning properly, because it's important that we get the assistance that we need to make sure that our mind, we practice mindful care of our mind to make sure that we are in the right place and balanced at all times. And to make sure some things when dealing with mental health that I've covered on Wednesdays this month, dealing with mental health, is we got to make sure that we eat properly. We make sure that we try to get the proper amount of rest every single night that we need, so we can wake up refreshed, be thankful, be appreciative, think on positive things, surround ourselves with positive people. Do not allow yourself to be isolated. There's a lot of times the enemy will play tricks on our minds, and the enemy will tell us that nobody loves us, nobody cares about us, nobody thinking about us, and we become withdrawn. Well, we doing the very thing that he set out to do, to cause us to be isolated and withdrawn. Find you that person that you can connect with, again, that's going to bring you back center, that's going to make sure that you're grounded. You want to also not eliminate yourself from being sociable. People that you can be sociable with, not people that's going to make you feel worse when you show up, but that is going to bring you up out of that pit, that's going to bring you out of that place of despair and hopelessness and sadness and depression, or however you may be feeling at that moment, or the situation that you're dealing with. Sometimes we find ourselves in situation after situation after situation, and we're just sick and tired, to tell you the truth, of being sick and tired. We need to move farther. We need to come out. We need to advance. So what we do is we go and find that person that's going to help us to do that. We don't want to reach out. We don't want to let people know or help people think that, oh, she in my business. I don't want them to know that I'm going through this. Honey, if it's going to save your life, if that person is going to be your lifeline, if that person is going to be the one to pick you up and bring you out, you can deal with the fallout later. But just to get into recovery mode, to keep you sane. Have you ever pulled up at a red light and you watch this person? I remember this person, I can see them so clearly, and I have not seen them in years. But this one particular place I would go, and this guy would stand on a corner, and he would rock back and forth, and he would just be talking and singing and doing whatever he is doing. He don't even know he in this world, y'all. He doesn't even know he is in this world. I don't want to get to that place to where I'm broken down, to where I don't even know where I am. I don't know whether I'm going. I don't know whether I'm coming. So all I'm simply saying to you is to make sure that your mind is in a great state of peace, harmony, and functioning in the manner God created it to function in, that you have your full faculties, your full abilities to think, to understand, to comprehend what you need to while you're in this earth. Self-care, self-preservation is paramount. There is a lot going on in this earth. There's a lot going on around us and with us, with those connected to us. So we have to make sure that we are taking care of our own mental health before we can try and reach out and help somebody else. Listen, I've been on here long enough, but I want to make sure that our minds are fortified and secured, even for not only today, but for the days and the months and the years to come, because there's things that are going to take place in this earth that we got to be in the right frame of mind to deal with. We got to be in the right frame of mind to deal with some people. So I want you to know that I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for joining me, sitting with me, chatting with me, listening to me on this Thursday evening with Fortifying Our Minds. This is Pastor LaSandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala, the Queen of Conquering, helping hurting and struggling women to conquer life issues one issue at a time. I'm simply here to help you recognize what is trying to conquer you, help you to release what is trying to conquer you so you can rise above what is trying to conquer you and dominate what is trying to conquer you so you can start to rebuild and put the pieces of your life back together. Whether you're building from the ground up or whether you're doing some remodeling, honey, you got to get to work. We got work to do. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a great evening, and I will try and be back in the morning for our Friday affirmations. Love you guys. Gotta go. Bye bye.